मैं तो सोचा भी नहीं, मतलब पहले एक दिन तो मैंने ऐसा हुआ था कि ये साइफर जहाँ पे था वहां पे चेम्बर हुआ करता था, और जो चेम्बर था वहां पे साइफर हुआ करता था, ठीक है ना, पोजीशन में। और मैंने साइफर उठा लिया कला, क्योंकि मैंने देखा तक नहीं। हाँ तू था ना उस? हाँ तू था, तू ही बोल रहा था यहाँ पे डालो वहां पे डालो बोल के। खाना बना था, स्क्रीन है बना रहा है, आधा छोड़ के चला है।
Relax. I've already sorted everything.
हो गया, गेम खेल रहा हूँ मैं। और ब्रीज 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 मेरे को मस्त है। कल तो एक बंदा ओमेन था, ठीक है ना, अगेंस्ट में। मैं चेम्बा खेल रहा था उसके साथ ही। वो ओमेन इतना गुस्सा हो गया वो बंदा, मैं उसको ऑफ लेके ऐसे मारा
Wherever
ना
I
कला
go,
वो बोलता है मिड में मिड में
veteran
एक वन ऑन वन
flows.
करेंगे।
It is my legacy.
क्यों जाऊंगा मैं वहां करने के लिए तेरे साथ? ऑफ लेके कौन वन ऑन वन करता है बे? स्नाइपर लोग पीछे रहता है कला। ले वो, ये कोई नहीं लेगा क्या? ये इसको क्या हो गया अगला के यहाँ पे हो
Going
गया?
A. Going B. Going C.
Rotating.
नहीं जा सकता वहां से। एक बंदा वहां पे मारा,
Reloading. There.
पीछे से आएगा, पीछे से आएगा, पीछे से
There.
आएगा।
Cover going out.
Reloading.
Shadows traveling.
Reloading.
जिंदा है या कोई बंदा ले?
Enough. Reloading. There.
Enemy A.
Placing sentry.
Planted. Enemy spotted A. Reloading.
One enemy remaining. Flawless.
वो बंदे अकेले सबको मार दिया किसने?
रीमेक करो, रीमेक करो, रीमेक करो, रीमेक करो।
You see? They're flawed. Ordinary.
वो एक चला गया क्या?
रीमेक करो गाइस, रीमेक करो।
Goodbye, paradise, and good riddance.
वो ऑटोमेटिक आता है बे, वो एक दो उसमें जाने से, ये वाला पता है?
क्या चीज?
ये ऑटोमेटिक वोट आता है ये।
रीमेक ना?
ऑटोमेटिक
पहला,
होता है।
अगर पहला में करते हो तो।
नहीं, ऑटोमेटिक ही आ जाता है, मतलब पहला में अगर कोई चला गया तो मुझे लगता है। लगा दे, उसके बाद भूख भी लग रहा है।
फीचर्ड कलेक्शन मस्त है।
नो कल देखा था मैंने। ओ अभी नया आ गया।
ये इंपीरियम वाला।
Match found.
कल अलग था, आज अलग था। नहीं इंपीरियम वाला तो है, नीचे वाला देख रहा था मैं। इंपीरियम वाला तो बहुत महंगा भी है, 8,000। इस बार का रहना अच्छा था, पता है हम लोग का।
everything.
कल जो हम लोग खेल रहे थे, कोई एक तो गेम तू भी था, मैंने लास्ट में 2 बार लोगों को मारा है, सबको क्लियर किया है, लेकिन जीता नहीं वो गेम, हारा है। नहीं, वो राउंड हारा है, वो गेम जीता है हम लोग। ये गेम लेकिन अनरियल में बनाया है बे। मैं तो आज फिर से वो देख रहा हूँ, वन पंच मैन। अरे वन पीस जो ये कैलाश दुबे, ये वन पीस जो आया है ना, इतना घटिया बना है ना।
Match found.
अरे यार, फिर से कोई इसमें नहीं उड़ेगा, पता है? वो इसलिए नहीं लिया, वो सनसेट है बोल के ही नहीं लिया वो बंदा।
Relax. I've already
अगर
sorted
दादाजी आ रहे,
everything.
और दादाजी, मैंने दादाजी देखा। अबे ये तो एक ही पार्टी के हैं, दीदी जी, दादाजी, हाँ जी, हाँ जी, हाँ जी। पार्टी भाई लोग अच्छे से खेलने तो अच्छा लगेगा। कल तो एक कहीं पे तो खेल रहा था, ठीक है ना, रात को खेल रहा था। एक रेना थी ऑपोजिशन में, एक रेना थी। वो रेना सिर्फ डंडे लेके सिर्फ माथा पे ही मार रहा था, गलत फाक मतलब। फिर मुझे ये नहीं लग रहा है कि वो शुरू में अगर ऐसे ही मार रहा है तो शुरू भाई के ला वो ब्रॉन्ज लॉबी में क्यों है?
स्मर्फ है ना।
स्मर्फ ही होगा। हाँ,
वो एकदम हर मैच जीत रहा होगा अभी। वो ब्रॉन्ज अभी पहुंचा है, वो प्लेटिनम में से तुरंत पहुंच जाएगा जीत के। उसी के बीच में हम लोग को मिल गया चुपके। ये देखो पिक नहीं किया 2 जन।
नहीं पिक करेगा,
किसी को
3
नहीं
जन ही
पसंद
पिक
आया,
नहीं।
निकाल देना
ये-
चाहिए मैप को साला।
ये मैप किसी को पसंद नहीं आया। खा ले तू, मैं खाऊंगा, मैं गेम खेल रहा। श्रेय भी आया हुआ। हाँ,
Match found.
45 मिनट तक खा ले तू। अभी देख, सब ले लेंगे।
Bro. I will click this.
वो खेलेगा बोलते हैं।
I am on a higher plane, Charlie. Literally.
बहुत मस्त
आई-
इसका एनिमेशन बनाया है Astra
एक्स्ट्रा
का।
का। सबसे सिंपल मुझे लगता है चेम्बर का ही है।
चेंबर का है क्या? केजे का भी सिंपल ही लगा मेरे को।
हाँ, मैंने कभी पिक भी नहीं किया उसे। हम लोग का 2 पिक नहीं किया। प्रेप टू डाई सैडली। स्वेटी है। हम लोग का तो अगर ऐसा है तो बहुत सारा स्मोक है। एक वो बंदा फ्लैश भी है। नहीं वो लोग, माँ कसम, अगर ये नहीं लिया ना, मैं खाना खाने जा रहा हूँ। ले लिया। पेटो हुई, फॉक्साई, पेडफूट, एल लोलाइट, लिविंगस्टोन। इन लोग का मैप, लेकिन मैप का जो इन लोग का जो आइडिया इन लोग ने सोचा ना कि टूटा फूटा फ्रैक्चर टाइप का ही सामान होगा, इसलिए इन लोग को ना ज्यादा काम भी नहीं करना पड़ा, पता है, पूरा मैप को ऐसे लंबा बड़ा दिखाने का। ये चीज मेरे को अच्छा लगा, इंटेलिजेंट थिंकिंग टाइप।
हाँ ये सब इंटेलिजेंट थिंकिंग है।
Swarm grenades? Check. Killer robots? Check. Oh, don't worry. The only killer when I see so.
ये यहाँ पे लगा देगा। नहीं चाहिए डुएलिस्ट, ऐसे ही मारेंगे हम लोग।
Heading to the above.
कहाँ पे भी पूरा ए में गया क्या? बी में स्कैन किया।
Without a star, I cannot.
Enemy spotted. B.
Pulling them in. Concealment.
बी में वो तो क्या है?
Multiple enemies B.
Spike down mid.
अरे ऐसे कैसे?
Reloading. Reloading.
Reloading.
Last player standing. Player standing.
Oh,
लेफ्ट में अपने।
oh fuck.
Remember, your weapon is only a tool. You can't just shoot. You have to think.
Up I go.
वेक को मारा, रीलोड तो करने देना चाहिए ना।
Going astral, guys. Let's
ए
see.
में कोई नहीं है हम लोग का।
I am with you. We are strong.
बी।
Concealment.
बी।
Spike down B.
मरता अभी मैं।
Spike is B.
कैसे? अरे ये गोल भी नहीं लग रहा है बे। घुस के अंदर।
78.
Here.
One enemy remaining. Thirty seconds left.
पीछे से आएगा कला वो।
Oh,
ओमेन ने बहुत मार खाया टर्रेट का।
Here.
10 seconds left.
Here.
मरना मत मरना मत मरना मत।
Finally off the ropes. Come here.
अरे ये
I'm
भी है
going
गार्डियन
above.
वाला बंदा। और एक है गार्डियन वाला बंदा। मैं जाता हूँ। ए
Checking the situation.
Launching smoke.
Reloading.
Enemy spotted mid.
Pulling them in.
Concussing.
Obscuring vision.
Spike down A.
Turret down. Killed my bot.
One enemy remaining.
एक
20 एक लगा तो क्या करेगा?
स्पाइक के पास रहो, स्पाइक के पास रहो।
नहीं स्पाइक के पास हूँ, स्पाइक के पास हूँ।
30 seconds left.
मैं यहाँ से देख रहा
ब्रिज
हूँ।
ब्रिज ब्रिम। अरे फैंटम उठा ना वहाँ पे।
Reloading.
नहीं आएगा मुझे लगता है।
10 seconds left.
हाँ?
पीछे से आ रहा है।
हाँ क्या?
Enemy defender spawned.
I can hold an area pretty well myself. Make sure to cover the angles I can't.
तू जिंदा था ना? तू देखा था उसको उसको केला पहली बार जब आया था तब
Going
ये-
astral, guys.
Placing sentry. Placing sentry. Watch and learn.
Let's see now. Concealment.
Enemy A.
Pulling them in.
हाँ
Got it. Blasting them.
Spike
कर
planted.
रहा है बे।
Reloading.
Too slow.
अंदर है।
Last player standing.
ब्रो अंदर तीनों के तीनों बैठे बैठे।
ये में कोई जा ही नहीं रहा है।
मैं था ना ये मेकल सबने मार लिया क्लब को।
Turret out. Behind me.
Checking the situation.
Here. Trap destroyed.
I need a knocking them. Fire in the hole.
Round is ready.
I need a stop. Pulling them in.
On my mark.
Right there. Dagger's girl goes
Spike
bye
planted.
bye.
पीछे से आएगा एक, ठीक है ना?
जेट को तो मार दिया
यहाँ पे है।
Enemy spotted. A.
यार 103 103
Last player standing.
What?
fuck. मेरा
I'll do
गया
my
off.
job, you do yours.
मेरा गया off.
इतना जल्दी लोग प्लांट कर दे रहे यार
वही वो लोग वही कर रहे हैं।
कोई यहाँ इधर 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 कोई
Right
इधर,
there.
इधर कोई नहीं है अभी सब ये चले गए गजब टीम है यार
ब्रिम 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 वो भी
Up I go.
Together. Placing sentry.
I'm going above.
They are so dead.
Obscuring
वो
vision.
उसने मेरा ऑफ लिया। अब मेरे सामने क्यों है? मैं स्नाइपर लेके बैठा हूँ, मेरा सामने है वो। आया।
Multiple enemies A. Turrets destroyed. Goodbye.
Killer.
ये आया कहीं पे जंप किया वो। अरे मार क्या कर रहा था मैं?
Spike planted.
Well divided.
Enemy spotted A.
वो वॉल डिवाइड करने से इसका आवाज वहाँ पे नहीं सुनता ना?
Last player standing.
है कोई
कब आया इधर
Useless individual.
One enemy remaining.
भाई साहब मेरा वाला ऑफ लेके सुबह मार रहा है।
My people, are you ready? You must cultivate a sense of calm.
समझा दे क्या करना है।
Heading to the above. That should work.
That Sova's mine.
Let's see now.
हाँ।
Without a star, I cannot. Blocking vision.
बीच में नहीं घुसने का। नहीं गया ना वो?
Enemy spotted mid. Here.
अरे कितने लोग हैं?
Spike planted.
Not your best.
Get out of my way.
Got one.
शोभा कहाँ है?
Teleport's ready.
One enemy remaining.
मार्केट
They didn't actually see something work.
Enemy spotted B.
Here.
That moment is gone. But it'd be cool, oh. Now we are here. Here.
Turret out. Placing sentry.
बंद नहीं कर सकना मैं। कहाँ है?
Got to pulling them in.
Brim.
Concussing it.
Brim.
Right there.
Enemy spotted A.
I got enemies B.
अरे यार
No more Sova. My ultimate
Is ready.
ओमन उधर है बी
Spike planted. One enemy remaining.
ओमन लो
लेकिन मैं वो नहीं ले पाया ना। ओए बंदा गो टेक ऑफ इफ पॉसिबल।
No fireworks today, I'm afraid.
नहीं था इसको, वहां पे था गलत टूट।
No worries, Charlie. No worries.
फाइट तो सकता हूँ लेकिन नहीं खेलूंगा मैं गलत टूट। फाइट लेता हूँ और दे देता हूँ उन लोग को एक बार फिर से, तो तब ना गला वो होगा ना, चैलेंजिंग होगा। ओ इसके पास ऑलरेडी ऑफ है, एक बंदे के पास ऑलरेडी ऑफ है।
placing swarm grenade.
Go swarm. Bye-bye.
मुंह पे
I
मार
need
के
a
गया वो
blasting
सीधा
them. Without us pulling them in.
भाई रेड को नहीं छोड़ूंगा नेक्स्ट राउंड को, गलत मारे साले ने।
सोबा है, सोबा के पास अल्टी है क्या जरूरत? वो लोग देखना उस तरफ जाएंगे।
Right there.
नाइस।
ब्रो रोटेट करो
पीछे।
Well divided.
वो बी गया।
Spike planted.
Here.
Last player standing.
Trinity.
One
You're
enemy
welcome.
remaining.
अंदर घुस। अंदर ही होगा, देख लिया उसने। तुझे से जा। देखा।
Come now, come on. Diffuse.
ओ
Diffuse.
पी। अच्छा कुछ।
They think they're so secure. I need a drop.
please.
Talk.
इतना मेहनत करने के बाद भी स्पेक्टर लेके अपना सारा स्पेल नहीं कर पाया।
रेड को गलत मारना है साले को, बहुत गलत
मैं
मारा है।
स्पेक्टर दे देता हूँ, तू वो करना।
नहीं ठीक है,
स्पेल
एक ही
Sentry.
बी में उन लोग ने स्कैन किया। बी स्कैन।
Concussing.
Blocking vision. Pulling them in.
कहीं पे
खेल रहा, सब उड़ता रहता है ये लोग.
Spike planted.
Deleted.
Last player standing.
चार लोग हैं बे.
One less. My ult is ready. Teleport's ready.
वो आएगा अभी.
इधर लेफ्ट से आ रहा है वो शायद.
पाक पाक पकड़ दो लोग हैं.
Come on! Get me in the line of fire.
भाई
ऑफ नहीं मिला बस. तो रुक मैं वो कर. मैं इस बार कुछ नहीं लेगा. नेक्स्ट बार फिर से ऑफ लेगा.
Going astral, guys.
Turret out. Watching this.
Need that back. About there. Got to target a star. Concealment. Fire in the hole.
बी.
Spike planted.
हाँ, ए में प्लांट किया है.
ए वही बोल रहा हूँ.
Initiated. Open up the sky.
Last player standing.
तू मरा ना उसके लिए. मेरे को मारने के लिए चक्कर में.
Last round before the
बैंडल
switch.
गया उसका.
Benedry Singh, don't be cheap.
लेकिन बहुत वो हो रहा है बे.
Checking the situation. That'll work.
नंबर कॉल दे. हाँ कॉल दे.
हाँ
Do not let yourselves fall.
Turret out.
Blocking vision. Obscuring vision.
Concussing.
भाई लोग.
आ रहा.
Without a stop, pulling them in.
मर गया.
I have them.
Spike planted.
जेट का ऐसा फोड़ करके आया.
Good.
जल्दी.
Last player standing.
ओके जी अच्छा था भाई.
ब्रो प्रेम क्या कर रहा है वो ब्रिज.
ये यहाँ पे आ गया. क्यों आ गए यहाँ पे? मेरा
Switching sides.
I'll teach him to respect their elders.
ऑफेंस तो और खराब हो गया.
ये
I'm going up.
का लिए नहीं है इतना अच्छा.
Here.
चल घुस जाते अगला शुरू पे.
कहाँ पे जाना है. ए बी.
Up I go.
Here. I've done more with less. Keep fighting.
Right there. to target as start.
Concealment.
Obscuring vision.
कहाँ था?
क्या पता कहाँ था?
बैठाएगा तो और मरेगा। मैं कल मंडी पे थोड़ी ना रहता है।
Here. Here.
That's
There they
done.
are.
पीछे से आया, पीछे से आया।
Spike's down. Reloading. Reloading.
Last player standing.
क्या? कंफ्यूज हो गया मैं।
हाँ बहुत ज़्यादा कंफ्यूज होके खेल रहे थे।
मैं किस तरफ देखूं, किस तरफ देखूं? इस तरफ पे था, उस तरफ भी था।
दूसरा तरफ से दूसरा आदमी था ही ना।
मर गया निकला सुधु भाई।
नहीं तो स्पाइक लगाने के बाद मरा ना।
I hate waiting. Let's do this.
Heading to the above.
और भी
Going astral, guys. Right there.
वो पिस्टल से मारा मेरे को।
Placing sentry.
Turret killed them.
सब पीछे से खेल रहे हैं। एक बंदा तो खेल ही नहीं रहा।
Spike is down. Here.
Spike down mid.
और एक।
Here. Here.
Last player standing.
तुमको कैसे पता चला? देखा, देखा, देखा।
Blasting.
30 seconds left.
Concussing.
Team Ace.
Stay in range of my stim beacon, and we'll mow them down.
पता नहीं। एक बंदा देखना, साई कुमार एक
तो कर
किल किया
लिया।
उसने।
अरे क्या ही बोलना है।
The Sova's mine.
So was mine. अबे मारना है वो तेरा।
My carrier is dead.
Spike down
मर
A.
भी गया। ऐसा नहीं, ऐसा नहीं, ऐसा नहीं। पीछे से, पीछे से, पीछे से, पीछे से, पीछे से, पीछे से। यहाँ से भी आ रहा है कोई?
Spike down A.
Here. Do better.
और एक है, उस तरफ है, उस तरफ है, उस तरफ है, हाँ।
Last player standing.
उसने 3 गोली मार दिया। कैसे बे? 3 गोली
Their
मार दिया
tech
मेरे
is
को उसने।
only as good as their skill. And there, we have some beat.
उसने 3 गोली मार दिया बे। मेरा मैक्रो के साथ में 2 गोली मारा उसको। लगेगा हम बहुत लगेगा।
Reloading.
तो ये यहाँ
पे,
पे
यहाँ पे।
क्या
Reloading.
Let's see now. Blocking vision. Concealment.
I win again.
For back, look for back.
Launching smoke.
बहुत नहीं, बहुत सही, बहुत सही, बहुत सही। यहाँ पे है कोई? मार उसको।
Turret destroyed.
कहाँ से? वो
वो
अंदर
है
घुसा।
वो है यहाँ पे।
One enemy remaining.
Rotate, 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 rotate. Go away, go away, go away. Come to A, come to A.
एक ही बंदा है, निकलेगा मार देना उसको। वहाँ पे ही है वो।
Spike down.
सुबह मारा, तूने मार दिया, सुबह।
And the enemy was punished.
Everyone note down your observations, then let's run it again.
मत कर, वो करने से ज्यादा हो जाता है भाई।
Gun here.
ये मिड में जाएगा और स्नाइप करेगा, स्नाइप।
They are so dead. Enemy spotted mid. Enemy spotted mid.
अबे इन लोगों को पता है क्या? कैसे मेरे इज्जत ही में
Our carrier's down.
I have the
Spike down mid.
I take them out. Well divided. My ult's ready.
I have them.
Right
पीछे
there.
पीछे 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 पीछे।
Here.
Enemy B.
Ah,
Spike planted. Concealment. I need it. Obscuring vision.
One enemy remaining.
Oh, nice level, nice level, nice
Distant.
level.
Well, settled.
ओपी,
Take
ओपी,
aim, Zenfire.
Huh?
Let's not complicate it.
सौंदे आ गया हूँ मैं।
ओपी। क्या हो गया?
नहीं किया था कि मैं वहाँ पे आऊँगा। वो देखा मेरे को लेकिन गोली नहीं चला पाया।
Up I go. Woo! Let's start.
मिड में कोई तो रहता है।
I'm going above. Blocking vision.
Turret out.
Weak.
Reloading. Turret
Concealment.
destroyed.
बहुत सही, बहुत सही।
Careful here.
Pitiful.
हल्दी है उसके पास, हल्दी है उसके पास।
Here.
है, मार्केट में है, अंदर अंदर।
ओ यार मैं अंदर वाले को देख रहा था।
Spike down B.
Gunner.
One enemy remaining. Last player standing.
वहाँ पे वो। अभी मैं क्या घटिया से मरूंगा ना, देखना।
पीछे जाओ, पीछे मतलब पीछे इन द सेंस हाँ थोड़ा दूर।
30 seconds left.
वो बंद किया अभी, मतलब वो उसके अंदर है।
डिस्टेंस मेंटेन रखना।
Teleport's ready.
टाइम है।
वैंडल वैंडल वैंडल
नहीं मरेगा तो मरेगा।
ब्रो
10 seconds left.
I have the spike.
वो नहीं होगा।
यही और मैं और भी फेंक दिया वहाँ पे क्लास पे।
Match point.
You can tell a person's character by their first action. Check me then, eh?
मेरे पास है वैंडल कला भी। हाँ क्या कर रहे तू?
Rise and bring glory.
Reloading.
वहाँ पे देखा मिड।
Nowhere to run.
Spike carrier is dead.
यहाँ पे है, यहाँ पे है।
Spike down B.
Placing swarm grenade.
I don't think so.
अरे यार इसका स्मोक ग्रेनेड।
Swarm grenade out.
Last player standing. Defenders win.
Hi! I'm pissed!
जी कल नहीं क्या कल खेलेंगे मतलब कल आना तुम लोग ऐसा टाइप का बोल रहा है। ए 20 माइनस हो गया बे। मैं फटाक से खाना खा लेता हूँ। फटाक से खाना खा लेता हूँ। बहुत भूख लग रहा है। ओके।
Brian,
No,
what's your first thought when I say hiccups?
ugh, hate them.
Do you get hiccups?
Oh yeah, I get triggered when I eat spicy foods.
Mm-hmm.
It all started I mean, you don't care.
No. Tell me your hiccup origin story.
It's not that crazy.
It started in a galaxy far, far away.
No, it started in New York City, where a lot of great dreams are dashed and destroyed. I must have been like 20 years old, was out with friends, you know, and you get hungry after a night out, and, you know, we went to one of those halal carts, which are delicious. And they
Amazing.
always ask you, they have like the red sauce, which is like frickin' nuclear bomb of spice.
Yeah, it'll kick
And
you.
they'll ask for like one line or two. And I was like, give me two. Because I was young and invincible. And the spice hit me and I started hiccuping. This had never happened before and has kept happening since every time I eat something very spicy. And like the whole train ride home was just hiccuping. But now I want to go to the Thai restaurant and get the 4 chilies. But no, it's too uncomfortable.
That sucks. I'm sorry.
Dreams destroyed, New York City.
But honestly, that story, it's not all that unique. Like it's tragic,
Yeah.
but it's sort of how it goes with hiccups.
Everyone has their after midnight in New York City moment.
If not after midnight New York City, so many people have their own, like, this is the thing that makes me hiccup.
Oh, yeah.
So I reached out to our listeners and I wanted to know what causes them to hiccup. And I wanted to play you a few of my favorites. To start, we had a lot of bread.
Bread?
It has to be drier bread, like sourdough or baguettes or rye bread. I can actually tell when it's going to give me hiccups the moment before I swallow. It's like an immediate reaction. Swallow, then hiccup.
Brioche is okay.
Yeah, brioche, totally fine, right? And one guy gets hiccups from baby carrots.
Full-size carrots do nothing for me, but if I eat 1 or 2 baby carrots, then I have these violent, socially disruptive hiccups for an extended period of time.
There's spicy food. That's a trigger for lots of listeners, not just you.
Yeah.
We had hiccups after burping, after eating and walking. And then there were some really strange ones.
Sometimes when I am washing my left ear, just my left ear, I hiccup.
That's extremely strange.
It's really weird. And then finally, someone wrote in and said his wife could always tell when he was going to tell a lie because he would hiccup.
That's probably been good for their relationship.
Yeah, and taking all of these things together, things like spicy food and bread and ears and lies, I wanted to try and figure out if they have a common thread. And that's what I want to talk about on this week's show. Is there a grand unified theory of what causes hiccups? And if there is something there, can that help us figure out how to make them go away? So to try and figure out what causes hiccups, I reached out to Tyler Simmet, who's a doctor, he's a professor, he's done tons of research on hiccups, and he says they're really interesting to think about because there's still so much we don't know about them.
We don't know what causes hiccups. We don't know why people start hiccuping.
But that doesn't exactly stop patients from asking Tyler to explain what's going on.
So people will come to us saying, stop my hiccups. And we have to redirect their thinking into why do you have hiccups?
Tyler will come in and be like, you know, I don't know, like maybe it's not the baby carrots, maybe it's not the bread, maybe there's some underlying thing, and thinking about hiccups helps us get to that like second level.
Yeah, it strikes me like, you know, there's probably a difference between like a trigger and the cause, or like the thing that's actually happening.
Yeah, and that's exactly what Tyler tells people.
Humans look for proximate causes. What's the one thing that comes right before? In medicine, we have to teach people to think of a broad range of what it could be and not what it probably is.
Okay, so lots of different triggers, but the truth of hiccups, the essential, like what unifies the baby carroters and the spicy hiccupers, like what unifies us.
So we can start with what we do know about hiccups.
So a hiccup is when you have a nerve stimulating the diaphragm to contract quickly.
So the diaphragm is the muscle under your lungs that controls your breathing, and that contracts.
And then once that happens, after the diaphragm contracts, the glottis closes.
The glottis is basically the opening on the top of the throat. So that closes and you get the sound.
That's the reflex arc. And then it happens again. anywhere from 2 to 25 seconds later.
And we have some ideas of why we might have this hiccup reflex. So I spoke to this researcher named Kim Whitehead who noticed that babies hiccup way more than adults. And she thinks that it might be a way for babies to learn how to control their own breathing when they are born. Like the hiccup kind of forces them to get to know their own bodies.
Oh yeah, that kind of forces them to like, oh, my chest does something, my lungs do something.
Yeah, it's kind of you take for granted you know how to breathe, but maybe the hiccup is the way we learn.
Okay.
And then there's this other idea that hiccups may actually trace back evolutionarily like hundreds of millions of years to our last common ancestor with amphibians.
And what the hiccup does for them is it allows them to gill breathe. So it'll close off the glottis, so they're not having anything coming in and they're having the breathing going through the gills.
Tadpoles still hiccup, and it's basically a mechanism to kind of quickly close things off, prevent water from getting in their lungs.
Like a do not enter kind of response.
Yeah, and our last common ancestor with amphibians was small, so the nerves didn't have to travel that far from the brain. But now that our bodies are so much bigger and they've changed so much, these nerves have this really long circuitous route. So there are all these opportunities for them to get triggered, which leads to all these different kinds of hiccup causes.
I'm trying to like create like a visual in my mind about the system. And I'm wondering if it's a little bit like, I don't know, my apartment's like very strangely electrically wired, and like there are like, or many switches that control the same light bulb.
That actually makes sense. It's like our bodies are these old, weirdly wired houses.
You can have a stimulus from the brain, from the belly, from the lungs. And one of the things we're trying to figure out is what else is associated with it.
So given that Tyler is asking all of these hiccup questions, I wanted to ask him how these nerves and how this weird wiring system we have could be triggered by all of those things we heard at the top. Like, why would dry bread be that switch that makes you hiccup?
For as long as I can remember, bread has given me hiccups.
Tyler says he hears this one a lot, actually. Like, dry bread is sort of a common hiccup cause.
It's interesting.
But he thinks it's actually the way you eat the bread. So if it's drier, you might chew harder, swallow more air, expand your stomach more.
When you eat bread, you may have liquid with it, which expands. So there are more complicated responses that people aren't looking for.
Spicy food, you know, your hiccup thing, that can expand your stomach quickly.
Okay.
And believe it or not, so can baby carrots.
Don't know what it is about baby carrots specifically.
Well, I do think there's a good physiologic explanation. When you have baby carrots, maybe you eat them faster. Maybe you eat more of them, cause your stomach to expand. I mean, baby carrots are just carrots, but it's eaten differently.
Then, you know, there's the left ear guy.
Just my left ear.
We usually say that's Arnold's nerve that's got a branch in the ear that does cause people to cough and can cause a hiccup as well.
And that can just, you know, like your old wiring in your house, that can trigger a hiccup.
So that's just an anatomic oddity where the nerve's got a branch in the ear.
And then there's the lie person.
If you're starting to get anxious, holding your breath a bit, if you get your diaphragm rigid, that could stimulate a hiccup.
You're just tense? Like, that's the explanation?
Yeah, tensing your diaphragm in a weird way could trigger these nerves. And, you know, I wouldn't discount anxiety or tension entirely. Like, once a certain thing causes hiccups for you, you might be primed to hiccup again every...
Don't miss out.
Yes.
We're going to be in Boston, Massachusetts.
Boston,
October
Massachusetts.
6th, Washington, D.C., October 21st.
Denver, Colorado, October 28th. Then we go to the Midwest. We go to Milwaukee with...
KKK.
Yo, Papa Pula, KKK. Young Hamgiga. Happy birthday
to you.
I gotta tell you.
I mean, you don't know I've already muted your microphone. I've cropped your shot.
And in your case, the camera. And we would go to different events and do a whole bunch of interviews every time. But there was one gang of people that it was best and probably most hilarious interviews we ever did, and became this nice, almost yearly tradition.
Yeah, it was like this breath of fresh air in a long line of stuffy game interviews.
Long, just like pretentious game designers and whatever we would meet. Sorry to all those people. And those interviews always included this guy. Audio listeners can't see me waving towards him, but very welcome.
Oh, yeah, this guy.
Lau.
And then I also need to make a sound, right? This
Yeah,
guy.
That's your cue. Start talking.
Okay.
Welcome, Lau.
Thank you. So that is like, I don't know if it's 10 years ago or 15. It's like a long time ago, right? We were young.
We were young in
We were
innocent.
young, all of us.
Yeah, I think the first one is from 2010.
That is.
So that's 12 years ago.
That's 12 years ago.
Yeah, we're much older. You still look the same.
I do.
Happy and youthful.
Thanks.
And now, lead game designer here at Massive Entertainment.
Yes. I wasn't back then. Back then I was doing a bunch of different things, but I think primarily part of a thing we call Copenhagen Game Collective.
Yep.
Which is this, which was like a kind of like a game art collective where we explored all sorts of weird games essentially, and like just wanted to do silly stuff with games. And I think the reason you guys found us and interviewed us in these kind of like weird settings was that we often wanted to kind of like explore party games and like physical games and games where you touched each other or did awkward stuff with each other. So that often happened at like, I don't know, at late night, at events and all sorts of situations at the Nordic Game Conference and all these places. And we just did a bunch of silly experiments and I think that was really fun.
Yep. I mean, the one thing about those interviews, and we'll get back to Copenhagen Game Collective and all those awkward situations that your games can create, was they were always not just silly.